Nope.
Camera's not on.
No, the cameras are on. Oh, that one's not on. Can you turn that one on? It's up on the side, but at the top. It's a little button. You know that? You see that little ridge?
Girl.
It's not. It's a little ridge, right?
Can't hear good. Can you hear me now? Video has no sound. That's why. Here we go.
Good.
Can you hear me now? 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 Good.
We just I have my topics. I just didn't have enough time to write them all. Ow.
Protect yourself.
This is more than a crush.
Shout out to LL for being with his wife for 25 years.
Right.
So
shout out to real.
So a man named Lady Loves Cool J.
Ladies love Cool J.
They do.
And he stayed faithful. But ladies love him. Did that? And he the one.
No, for real.
That's what I'm talking about. But yeah.
Fire 716, Big Frank in the morning. It's your girl, Jay Cherie. We got in the building, the Dark Knight.
That was good.
And Kev on air. You know, Big Frank is Big Franking right now. So, you know, we going to hold it down as the morning show crew because this is what we do.
What?
We have amazing times in the morning. And even though it is dreary this morning, you know, we are thoroughly enjoying and kind of lit. The littiness started behind the scenes already. So I already know today's show is going to be an amazing, amazing show because we all have the ability to argue friendly. Yes.
We're gonna be.
Dark Knight, how you feeling this morning?
Great. I should have capitalized on that Tim Hortons run and spent my daughter's money, but I did not. I don't know if that makes me a good parent or a silly person, but you know, I'm here.
Spending the money is closing the gateway to doing other things like stealing their Halloween candy.
Halloween candy is okay.
That's fine.
They don't need all that.
She shouldn't be eating all that candy. No.
They don't need all that candy.
That's fine.
They only need a quarter of it.
Plus, I don't want her sour stuff. I don't like sour stuff. I'm just all the chocolate.
Give me all the sour. Sour, the chocolate. Give me everything.
So we got a bunch
Keep
of
the peppermint.
thieving parents in this room, right? Stealing all the Halloween candy. Like, what happened to my dollar? I don't even know.
They go. I paid for them.
My gas.
They literally had to walk the block. Like, they out here being some child streetwalkers getting candy. Like, and you stealing that. But Kevin, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm glad I made it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because accidents. Okay? Accidents.
It's the first time in history that we have on air had to drive the speed limit, and I'm actually kind of
excited.
excited.
Only because
the
rain hit different when your tires is going bald.
Sometimes the Lord be trying.
Listen, I'm just all things well, you know what I'm saying? No, but when we get back, we get into Big Girl Chronicles. Then we got a good question of the day that we get ready to have an awesome conversation about. So stay locked in with us. Big Frank in the morning. Let's get it. Let's go. Pay some bills.
We'll get in trouble.
Huh?
We'll get in trouble.
I mean, they don't know it's personal. What can they really do except for pull up on a radio station? And if they did that, we capitalize on it.
Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles, currently located at 701 Kensington Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. Come and get a taste of the greedy Greg chicken sandwich with a famous and amazing slap sauce. And don't forget those specialty waffles, red velvet, cookies and cream, Cinnabon, only at Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles. Place your orders now at Crenshaw'sChickenandWaffles.com. That's Crenshaw'sChickenandWaffles.com. Pull up to 701 Kensington Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. That's Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles.
Basic water. Welcome to the group.
Not a basic water. Color too. That was a basic water.
Right. You gotta say it in a happy way.
Hey,
so they won't
You know,
be mad. Like, we got complimentary bottles of basic water.
we got that purified spring Walmart brand. Great value. You know what I'm saying?
Value of greatness.
Like hitting, okay?
On some real stuff.
Hitting. You don't even
We
know.
got Dollar Tree water. You better get that Crystal Lake.
Yo, Crystal Lake is terrible.
But it's actually, surprisingly, it's actually good for you. It's actually,
It's just surprisingly disgusting.
You know,
Which
they
is
say
kinda-
the things that are healthy for you
Taste the worst.
The worst, you know.
yeah, get
Except
that
for
Crystal,
good-
Gusher.
Good green smoothie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to be against putting spinach and things, and then I found out that spinach don't really have no taste.
Mike
So
back, Jay.
Huh?
Slide your mic back.
I was like, spinach really don't have no taste.
No, like back. You can put it back. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Spinach don't really got no taste. And be like, oh, okay.
Right.
You can do this. You can believe in me.
Yo, like real talk, some of these hot topics, I was like, you know, I want to open up a daycare. I want to open up a child center.
Okay.
Like, I want to fulfill the dream that Bernie Mac wanted to fulfill before he transitioned and had that daycare where the first month is free, but I beat the mess out of your kids. Because one of the hot topics, I feel like if I had this daycare, this would not have happened. That's all I'm saying. Like, one of the hot topics, I'm like, so clearly, the daycare should totally need to happen. Like, they need a whooping. Like when I say hard body, kids, I don't believe in beating your children, but like I believe in
Strong
letting the hand, you know, smacking them with the power of 1,000 angels.
the tail of the power of the nine tails.
She said,
Slapping them with the power of 1,000 angels.
not of 1,000 angels.
Just to help them,
Not
you
1,000
know.
of them.
Just 1,000 angels.
Not 1,000.
I guarantee it would resonate. Like,
Wake them up.
they wake up like that aftershock, you know, when your parents used to whoop you, and it's like 2 days afterwards, you just wake up scared.
Not 2 days.
Not 2 days.
It felt like 2 days. Legit.
Like,
That's because that initial whooping you really deserve.
It was daytime and now it's nighttime, so you scared
right.
everybody downstairs.
That's because you got whooped into a good sleep.
Right.
Listen, like, no, real talk, I remember
Whooping sleep is the best sleep.
I didn't get a whooping sleep, but I got the worst sleep ever, which is coming out the bathtub sleep. I mean, like coming out the bathtub whoopings.
Oh yeah.
When you like partially dry, but you're not fully dry because you're trying to like,
And the belt sticking to you.
yeah.
And
And the pain is radiating through your body because the leather hit the water. I mean, in theory though, that woman,
Your skin is super tender.
yeah, like that woman, I don't feel like I deserved, but I deserved a woman. There was
I was wrong.
Like,
There was
I
whoopings
don't
that
feel like
you
I was
deserved,
that
but
wrong.
there was whoopings that were like,
That was
dang,
like-
I didn't deserve one.
Yeah, I didn't deserve that
No,
kind of
for
woman,
real.
but
Yeah.
like,
And nothing wrong with this. They met you where you were.
That's a fact.
because when my dad came home, I was already in my room waiting for it. Like, I know, like, because I knew I deserved a whooping for this. Because it's very few whoopings I actually deserve because my brother got me in trouble a lot. So, like, my brother would be like, yo, say this cuss word or I'm going to choke you. Okay, I'm little. Like, I was at a time before I had muscle and I could fight back. So, like, I would say the cuss word, but it's right as my dad is walking in.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, I was like, but he told me to. Like, he told me he was going to kill me. And my brother would be like, I ain't tell her that. And because he was older, like, my dad would believe him. So, like, when I was older, my get back was hard. Like, I would do stuff to get my brother in trouble. Like, I would purposely empty out beer cans because we had a bar in our basement. Like, and plant them, like, in his room or in his closet. Because I'm like, oh, no, you going to get some of this fire that you gave me. Like, my class, like, was real on my brother. Like,
comeback.
oh, yeah, it was terrible. Like, my brother went out one time. He was in boxer shorts and a white beater with no shoes on. And he went outside to get the mail, and I closed the door on him. So he was just standing out in the snow, no shoes on his feet, just like, boom, ha! Like, he's like, you better let me in, I'm gonna kill you. You gonna stay out there until Dad get home. I'm not letting you in. I'm not, like,
now that's dead wrong.
like, he walked to the neighbor house and was like, just to lock me out. And I was like, the door closed behind him, Daddy, I don't know what to do. Like, yeah.
Oh, God.
My dad was like, why was you outside with no shoes on anyway? Like, I didn't do that. Yo, like, my kid, I was like, yo, I'll pay you back for every whooping I did not deserve.
Yo.
Like, so he learned.
Y'all, man.
He learned, and then he grew up to find out his sister was a psychopath, because I did something to my brother that made him fear me. He was just like,
See, this is why.
no, like,
Right,
he told my dad he was scared of me. Because, like, one day he pissed me off, and I let it go for days. I didn't say nothing to him. I didn't speak. That, like, in the middle of the night, he woke up, and I was standing over him, and I had a knife standing there. And I was like, see, I could have killed you in your sleep, and walked out.
That's that psychological.
My mother was
like,
like, yo, my sister's a psychopath. After that, I ain't had no problem with him. You gotta learn.
Yo.
Locking my door.
Yeah, for real. Like,
You gotta learn how to, you gonna fear me.
only
Like,
when you get in here is that the house burned
I
down.
can't trust no woman.
Right. Yo.
That's how I felt.
Severe trust
That's how I felt after Gone Girl. I watched Gone Girl. I was like, yeah, you know.
Yo.
Every time I see a white woman, I start clutching my purse. I was like,
I never watched.
That's about word.
I never watched Gone Girl.
I was like,
Yeah.
she looking at me. I'm like,
Yo.
white woman, I don't know what you gonna do. Y'all was ready to spill half the blood of your body just because I
Morning,
cheated on you
Erica.
once.
No, for
No,
real.
good. No, I don't want none of them problems. That's scary.
Are we coming in after this?
No, that's real. That's
Oh,
real.
sweet.
Yeah, I was just like, Mom, dude, you gonna fear me? Like, no, all the times that I was real tiny and I couldn't fight you back. Oh, it's going down. Like, you're not gonna be bullying me for the rest of my life. It's a dub. Cause he would like push me in the corner, be like, fight your way out. Okay, sir.
Oh, say less.
Okay, then he didn't realize his sister got some muscle. He like, okay, yeah, she got muscle back. I need to stop doing this.
So his life was going hurt.
Huh? He wanted a little brother.
I thought we were fighting about it.
He wanted a little brother, and because he didn't get a little brother, he wanted me to pay for it. Not my fault.
I was gonna say you can't control it.
Jay Cherie, it's on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles. And on this rainy day, even though the room of the conversation is definitely lit, we are going to talk about setting your standards. Now, this is kind of connected to our hot topic, but not really, because I have been in multiple conversations with people recently, and it was just like, oh, I kind of feel like I need to compromise with this. I kind of feel like I need to compromise with this. And, or I'm tired of being by myself. So I call it being a consenting Christian. That means having sex while you're a Christian. Mm-hmm. And you're not married. Like, I just, the rest of all my other friends that was believers, they have sex with they booze, even though they was both believers and they got married, but I'm holding out and, I'm still not married yet. And I've been having like conversations with these young women, and I'm just like, you have to get to the point where you set the standard. Like, it's okay to set a standard saying, I'm not going to have sex until marriage. It's okay to set the standard saying, this is the type of way that you will not talk to me. It's okay to set the standard saying, these are the things that I would like to be connected to because I see myself going in this kind of trajectory. It's not being snooty. It's not being bougie. And even for the men, it's okay to say, you know what, sweetie, you cute, but you are not what I'm looking for. And it's not a bad thing. And yes, I know women probably mad at me for saying that, but if you are not what that person is looking for, it's okay to say it in a nice way. Don't be out here being mean, like you ugly and I don't like you. But like, honestly, just being honest and say, you know what, I see myself going in this direction. And based on your aspirations, we're not going in the same direction. So I don't want to waste your time and you don't need to waste mine. It's okay to set the standards. And I think society has put us in a place where we are forced to either lower our standards or conform to other people's standards just so we won't be lonely, just so we'll have some kind of, mediocrity in our success, just to be quote unquote popular. It is not what we're supposed to be doing, even though I never agreed with Oprah and Stedman living in a household together and they're not being married. But I was not mad at the fact that Oprah said I wasn't going to open myself, my money, and my life to a man until I was comfortable of knowing that this is the person who was purpose for my destiny. And we have to also get to that place now. Like I said, I don't believe in coexisting outside of marriage, but you have to get to that place where you are okay with digging your heels in and saying, I'm not going to conform to this just because you want me to be comfortable. So in this edition of Big Girl Chronicles, on this rainy day, set the standard because you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and you're graceful. You're a big girl, you're a big guy, we just big people. Let's go.
Facts. So be like, oh, y'all on Facebook, y'all know what we listen to. We just over here just, you know what I'm saying? Look like the Asian boy from the video where we're here in the disco, and he just.
Right.
You know what we're listening to if you downloaded the app. I'm just saying, but no, like for real, it's just I know I've been coming real hard with the Big Girl Chronicles, but it's just like I don't want people in this season and everything, especially everything that we have dealt with in the last 6 months. Like even the loss of our apostle, things of that nature. He never settled. Like if he said he was getting a Range Rover, dude got a Range Rover. He's like, I'm getting a Maserati. Dude got a Maserati. Dude, he said, I'm getting a white leather jacket with fur. He had a white leather jacket with fur. Like, but it was his determinedness to not settle.
Right.
And to understand his worth, understand who he was as Joseph, as the prophet, as the apostle. And it's just too many people at this place now where it's like, I just want to settle because I just want this. Like, I'm not settling with some guy that I know is not going to be connected to my destiny. And I'm not ashamed. Like, I used to be ashamed of being my age and still being single. I'm not ashamed because first I had to work on myself. Before I even entertained the idea of being in a relationship. I was a mess. Women, we got to get to the place where we be like, we're a mess. We need to be by ourselves. Same thing with men. I'm a mess. I got 3 baby mamas. They all crazy. I need to work out. What is about me that keeps attracting crazy baby mamas?
Especially the baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, you got 3 baby mamas, bro.
Like, figuring out what it is about you because you're the common denominator, and then get to the place where you're healed and whole.
Right.
Then pursue a relationship. And I think like this in this like area of life, it's like do whatever it takes to not be by yourself because they're gonna ask me, why are you this age and you're still single? Okay, well, first of all, I was out here in the streets for a while. Second of all, me needing to be healed and walking into what God called me to walk into required me to be by myself.
For sure.
And I couldn't entertain a relationship and try to be healed and do what God called me to do. Third of all, I shouldn't have to explain to you, but it's really none of your business. Like, you know, but I think
I'm trying to get with you, girl.
I think like we have to get to the place where our standards are not negotiable.
Yes.
Say what you mean.
And mean what you say.
And mean what you say.
The Bible says.
Let
your yes be your yes, your no be your no.
That's what the book says.
That's the books.
So, you know, even though this may not be, you know, the proper segue to go into our question of the day, because it is kind of controversial, and you know, we like to do background stuff before we present things to you.
We do.
We try.
We try.
But the question of the day is a two-parter. So, is it really LAURIE Harvey's fault that they broke up, and why does society oftentimes blame the woman?
I hear you. Okay. But the question for what we talked about earlier. So I always had a question about this. You know, I always wanted to ask people this. And obviously I'm not asking the right people, but I always did want to ask people, like, how do people have multiple baby daddies or baby mamas after the first one is crazy? you dealt with a crazy one.
Because they
And
have
then
to
the second one is also crazy. You know what I'm saying? How's you building this ladder of crazy?
Because they ignore the red flags.
With your
They
kids.
they repeat cycles.
Yeah.
That's all. Every baby is a repeated cycle.
If I had a baby with a crazy person, my thing would have been, yo, the next chick we got kid with cannot be.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But it's not. But the thing is, you have to look at it as what is in you is what attracts to you.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So like you may not, after your first experience with a crazy baby mama, you may be like, I'm not gonna have another crazy baby mama. But qualities that is radiating out of you is attracting another type of woman, and she may be a different type of crazy. Like the first type of crazy may be, I'll bust your windows out, I do it. The second kind of crazy may not be as overt, but she may be psychologically crazy. But you didn't pick up on it because what is in you is attracting a certain type of woman.
Gotcha.
So like this is why I get mad when they're like, oh, all the men I date is dogs. In the word of Cat Williams, figuring out what it is about you that keeps trapping ain't nothing men. Because like, and there's certain guys that I attract. I attract different types of guys. I attract intellectuals. I attract some real interesting eccentric dudes. But I'm interested in eccentric. But there's levels to it. It's a vibe that I give out. I hate the term vibe, but it's the vibe that I give out. But when I was attracting nothing but abusive and like controlling men, that's what I was putting out, because I was broken, and broken women attract controlling men, because men is like, oh, this is an easy catch, this is an easy conquer, and I could manipulate her. So like when dudes have 3 crazy baby mamas, there's a common denominator between all 3 of them crazy baby mamas. No, I meant as far as characteristics of what he's putting out that he's looking for. Like, that's why I get mad when men be like, oh my God, all I attract is gold diggers. If you are presenting with money, that's what you're going to get as a gold digger. If you presented a lifestyle, saying, oh, I'm going to pay your bills, I'm going to pay your hair, I'm going to pay your nails, I'm going to pay your car note, and then you get mad 6 months in, you presented that. And this is the offer that you made. So you can't be mad at the woman when you want to stop doing that now. And it's like, and she looking at you like, but this is what you presented.
Right.
You told me we was gonna go to Chick-fil-A every day but Sunday.
So she wants you to die. Because eating fried chicken sandwiches every day. That's a lot.
You don't have to go there for a chicken sandwich. They sell other things at Chick-fil-A.
Most people go to chicken.
Like
but eliminate the waffle fries and the chicken sandwich.
They sell milkshakes.
The deluxe spicy.
Yeah.
Fresh off the fryer.
Breakfast foods. Burritos.
Some people go for salad. And those people are secretly psychopaths. You're secretly psychopath. No, I'm kidding. If you go to Chick-fil-A and get a salad, I'm proud of you. Because you got willpower.
I'm gonna tell you.
You got willpower to ignore the smell of those fries.
I'm gonna tell you crazy, because you could have went to the Tops and got you.
No, some of their salads though legit look like delicious. Like they look delicious.
So
David.
As far as this question goes,
yes,
I feel like
I need the background. I guess we have more information now than what we had yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, the background. There's 2 sources out there right now. One source is close to LAURIE and Michael. The other, no, it's not. No, Steve Harvey made his opinion known. Yesterday. We'll get to that.
Okay.
And then one is strictly close to LAURIE, which I'm kind of like, I don't really trust you because you're kind of loyal. The one that's close to LAURIE was saying that, like, you know, he pretty much should have known better because she articulated. She articulated that, you know, she wasn't ready for marriage. Mm-hmm. The source close to both of them said there was a discussion in the beginning of the relationship. Mm-hmm. Michael was like, this is what I'm bringing to the table. What she brought to the table was, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage. I'm still in my 20s. I still want to experience life. Mm-hmm. But they both desired to be with each other, so they went forward. Okay. So the reason why the question comes up now is because if she said, I don't know if I'm really ready for marriage, and he is all about marriage.
Okay.
Why pursue? And so when they broke up, everybody went in on LAURIE and was like, and they took her dating history and threw it in her face. Now, I will say this.
She has done
She's a
scumbag stuff.
I will say this. If she had the same because I don't know the conversation she had with the other guys. If she had the I'm in my 20s, I want to experience life, you want to rock life with me, maybe this is the reason why she has so many ex-boyfriends. With Michael, I think he's always been clear that he wanted to get married. So this is why people's like,
put too many moves in his
like people are kind of like, some women and actually a couple of guys are coming to the defense of LAURIE, but this is the background story of, is it really LAURIE's fault that they broke up?
What her dad said.
Her dad basically was just like, he was sad that they broke up. He still thinks that Michael B. Jordan is a good guy. He ain't got no problems with him. And he was just like, my daughter is who she is. And I'm like, sir, don't put her in that same category with you though, bro. Because you was like,
yo, you see how he slid on that joint. He said, my daughter is who she is. Like he ain't say what he wanted to say. Right. He's like, my daughter who she is.
It was like, my daughter. He's like, my daughter who is who she is. She's still finding herself. Things of that nature.
That Negro was in the house cussing her out.
That, and it's more like, I know my daughter is just going to keep searching out life until she's ready to settle down. She is her father's daughter in a sense, except she's not married like 3 times. Like, she had the common sense to be like, nah. Like, so.
He was married when he was broke. He was married when he got a little bit of money. He got married again when he got a little much money.
But the first 2 marriages, he did blame the woman. When it came to the woman that he has now, he said he had to come into himself and find the truth about who he was. And at a lot of points, he was a terrible husband. Like,
I think the first one, they broke it off. I feel like it was honest.
Yeah.
Thing.
The second one was messy.
The second one was messy.
It was really messy.
I read the book. I know he did.
Because he was like, I was a terrible husband, and I thought I was better. He had a Chris Rock experience. I thought I was better because I was making the money and you need me. And it was just like, bruh.
Oh, yeah.
Get yourself together. Like, you out here looking like Mr. Potato Head, sir. I need you to relax, good sir. But no. So this is why the question of the day happened. Is it really LAURIE's fault that they broke up?
I just feel like if the guy wants marriage.
Let's talk about it. Let him get it out.
Don't put in that. I don't know. Don't put out that energy. Like they was vibing. Like they could have really got married on some you know what I'm saying? And it could have been sweet. I just feel like you could have said, "I ain't gonna waste your time." You feel me? Because I know deep down inside I don't want marriage. You see what I'm saying? That's like having a conversation. Do you want kids or not? Like if you say you don't want kids, I'm not gonna. Who am I to say I'm gonna stick this out and still try to have a kid with you?
Right.
If I know you don't want kids, I'm dead wrong. And if you tell us no.
But there are relationships where the person's like, let's pursue because the person may change their mind.
Yeah,
I do think that may have been his mind frame. Like if we in love enough, if she loves me enough, she'll change her mind about getting married. Because like the one, like I said, I'm basing it off the mutual source because her source is one-sided. If the mutual source, and this is based on if it's credible or not. If it's credible or not. But no, it's saying that, there was a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'm ready for marriage. Like, I'm in my 20s. I want to live my life.
Right.
But I like you. But I'm going to be upfront. Like, this is like, I personally don't blame her because I feel like if the source is credible, and I will say if it's credible and she put it out there saying, I'm not sure I want to get married, I want to live my life and enjoy my 20s. I think if he was just like, well, let's see where this goes, or they agreed mutually to like, okay, let's just see where it goes. She still shouldn't be blamed for it.
I feel like all of that is going all around the question. The question is just, is it her fault that they broke up? You know what I'm saying? I would say that it is her fault that they broke up, but it's her fault they broke up because she didn't want what he wanted. Now, don't get me wrong. The fact that they possibly had a conversation initially, you know what I mean, about what she wanted to do, and like you said, you know, you get into a relationship, y'all both like each other. I hear what you said, you know what I'm saying, but you know, we still like each other, so we're gonna ride it out, see what it is, you know what I mean. But you know, and at the end of it, you still felt how you felt when I was ready,
Right.
you know what I mean. Then you know, it's your. I feel like fault is such a one-sided word. We broke up because you didn't want what I wanted. That's why we broke up. So I'll say they broke up because Lori didn't want what he wanted. You know what I mean? And she said, but you know, at the same time, she did say that she wasn't sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? She didn't necessarily say she didn't, or she did. She said she wasn't sure. So like the fact that she came to that conclusion that she did not want it at the time, you know, like any good man that I don't know. If I want to get married and you don't want to get married, and I'm ready to get married, but you're not ready to get married, and your excuse is that I'm not ready to get married because I just want to enjoy my 20s
and live life.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying you can't live life with me, but you want to live life how you want to live it. You know what I'm saying? Then okay, well we going 2 different ways. I see you. I see you. You know when I see you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you come back to me, I ain't looking for you, but if you come back to where I'm at, and you want to try this again, you ready? You know, then it's on me if I pull you back or not. But like other than that, so I would say it's her fault because she didn't want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not her fault in the sense that, oh my God, Laurie, you messing up. You know what I'm saying? But it's her fault in the fact that it's not something that she wanted, so she relinquished it.
I personally feel like, I mean, based on who Michael B. Jordan is, every woman is mad at Laurie right now. He's like, why would you hurt that fine man? That's what I've been hearing a lot. I'm just like, I'm not going to say it is her fault. I'm going to say if you knew 100% that you wanted married, like if I meet a guy, let me say it this way. If I meet a guy and the guy says to me, I'm not sure I'm ready for marriage, but I know I'm not dating just to be dating out here. I'm not going to pursue that with you. Right. Because you're not sure and I'm not going to catch feelings.
But it's different when you're a man.
But no, what I'm saying is that if you reverse the scenario, if I'm gonna just use Daniel and Quita. If Daniel says, I'm not dating to be dating, I want to get married, and Quita says, I'm not sure they're married now, but if Quita had said, I'm not sure I want to be married, I kind of just want to live my life, Daniel probably would have been like, okay, so we're going in 2 different directions in life. And like you said, if we come around, because who knows, who's to say that if she was 28 and her perspective changed and they connected then, that they could have gotten married. Because it was clear that they were in love. And this is why both of them are hurting the way they're hurting right now. Is because it was like, dang, I really loved him. I loved her. But I have respect for her instead of like conforming and saying, yes, I'll marry you and then be miserable. Right. Because it's like, dang, I said yes just to make him happy, but I really don't want to get married. I really don't want this commitment. I just really want to live my life. And a lot of women, I feel like, in the sense, even though, like I said, I feel like the relationship should have never happened. I'm empowered at the fact that she did say, I'm not going to do this to you, and I'm not going to enter into a marriage and be miserable. Which
to me, I say it's fine because, again, that's not what you wanted. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna do it for you.
Definitely can't force you.
Like I said, I'll say this though. You know what I mean? If we get into a relationship and I want to get married and you aren't sure if you do, you know what I mean? It's leaving it open for me to possibly change your mind. So if we fall in love, to me, falling in love is like, after I fall in love with you and we in love now, you know what I mean? We rolling with this love word and we doing love stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, I'm trying, let's see what's up. Right. I'm trying to get married with you. I'm trying to put a ring on to keep it for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? And if you like, yeah, I don't want to get married, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, break it up. You know what I mean? But But I think her verbiage said she didn't want to get married, but like the source, I think how the source, because obviously, like we said, we don't know if the source is legit or not. Right.
But the fact that she said, I'm not sure, but it's the following words that made me feel like from jump she knew she didn't want to get married. She said, I just want to live my life and enjoy my 20s.
That's it.
So
when you say enjoy my 20s, right there. Okay, cool.
So like at that point, it kind of be like, you know what? Okay, so let's explore. If I'm still single, then let's explore this at a time when you're ready to settle down.
Enjoy your 20s.
Enjoy your 20s. Don't catch anything while you're out there.
But I don't know, because I don't know what does enjoy. I don't really know.
Right. What can, like,
that could mean
you can enjoy your 20s married. Like,
No,
just
see,
and I even talk about marriage.
like, but
enjoy your 20s. Like, I'm Michael. If I'm Michael B. Jordan, I'm rich. We can enjoy the shiggity out your 20s.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go places. Let's go and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. When I'm in between, when I'm on a movie set, we ain't gonna stay up in New York. Let's be gone. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not in a movie shoot, let's be gone. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit this up, because ain't no for me. Let's enjoy it. You know what I mean? We can enjoy this all day.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Now, marriage has nothing to do with. That's why I'm like, marriage has nothing to do with whether she enjoy herself or not.
Yeah.
In how I see it.
Right.
I understand that you may now the thing that you want to enjoy is your freedom. That's different. Enjoying my 20s. I can enjoy my 20s with the homies. You know what I'm saying?
As a woman, I would think that maybe enjoying her 20s meant was like still be in a relationship, but not have the commitment of a marriage.
Right.
Because like when you out here in a relationship, yeah, you can tell your man, I'm going out with the girls, and you can go and get whatever. When you're married, you can't disappear for a whole week. Like, and she travels, she's hanging with her girls, like just like looking at her Insta and stuff like that. She'll pick up and go for a whole week. Be out with her girls, be in Bora Bora, be in the club, booty twerking, whatever she's doing. When you're married, you can't do that. You can't just leave unless it's a business thing, you can't really just leave your man, I'm going to go twerk with the girls for a whole week. Like you can't be like, yo, I'm about to go to New Orleans for a whole week and just be nasty with the boys. Like, you can't do that as a marriage. There's certain obligations, and maybe she felt like she wasn't mature enough to let that lifestyle go.
Right.
And she is in her 20s, so I don't think it's specific to the age. It's just she's in her 20s. So it's like, let me enjoy my 20s.
Right.
Let me live my life. If I want to not be obligated, like I don't mind having this relationship with you. Like I love you.
Right.
But marriage is a different kind of accountability. It's a different kind of commitment. It's a different kind of sacrifice. And I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Right. And
that's how I kind of got it.
And that's why my thing is,
Oh, okay.
And that's why my thing was that. Because I was like, okay, is it your 20s or is you just trying to be nasty?
Right. Like, you just, all right, you want to be free? Okay, be free. All right.
You're going to be free. Just say it.
Oh, it switched. My bad.
Just say it. I was like,
Fire 716. It's your girl Jay Cherie, and this is Big Frank in the morning. In the room with me, I got the Dark Knight and Kev on air. Big Frank is out, Big Frankie. So you know, we out here, we the crew. We holds it down. We get ready to get into the question of the day. If you have not been with us on Facebook or YouTube, you are missing out. So you just need to go on, download, follow us on Facebook, Radio Fire 716, and YouTube Fire 716 Radio. And get the content. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe, like, and share, because your likes and shares matter. Okay.
They matter to us.
They matter. But no, this morning's question of the day is a two-parter. As we know, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey have parted ways. Mm-hmm. And the question of the day is it Lori Harvey's fault that they broke up? And the second part is, why does society often blame the woman? And there's background for me in that second question. So, Kev on air, Dark Knight, it Lori's fault?
Like I said before, fault is such a strong word. In the same sense, you know what I mean? The fault may lean on her for the simple fact that she's the reason why we're not together anymore. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I had made a decision to want to do something or want to be somebody or want to be somewhere. Yeah. But you decided that you didn't want to meet me there after not really being sure if you would or if you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think fault is a real strong word. I think she just, as you said earlier, she just stood in her truth, and that's just what it was. But as far as who was the one that broke this relationship off, you know what I mean? I have to lean on that LAURIE is the reason why this isn't going on anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Kev?
I definitely agree. I'm gonna say it's definitely fault is a bad word. Like,
It's as strong as dirt.
It's a strong word. So it's like I'm gonna say
is
yes.
LAURIE Harvey the reason?
Is definitely the reason they're not together. Because he wanted to be with her forever. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the ball was in her court. You know what I'm saying? He was like, here you go. The ball is on you. And she was like, I want to enjoy my 20s. I don't fault you for that. Like,
understand what that means.
Right, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? But
attitude about it.
I feel like if you're 20, how old is she?
She's 25.
You're almost there.
She
You're
out of
5 years. She's 30. Like
25 is when that mindset changes.
yeah, like your mindset is starting to develop for real. Like
you out of your 20s at 25.
yeah, so
Like based on
she
her
could've got-
story, just looking into, so like, she was obviously in Steve Harvey's house for a while.
right.
So it's like now that she's kind of independent on her own money, things of that nature. It's like now I get a chance to
So
live.
do what I want.
Now I get. Unfortunately, it was late. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not really late because you're still young. Like you're not 35, just getting out.
But you trying to fight. That's what.
You're not 35, just leaving your parents' house.
I got you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Now
just,
deciding to live your best life.
right, like you're probably left out like 23, 24. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Doing your thing. You living your life. You traveling. You doing your thing.
What you
Just
was
imagine
doing-
traveling with your mate and you ain't really got to pay for nothing.
What she was doing under her daddy
You feel me?
I mean, I will be this person.
That's
Do
what
that. Do that.
I don't blame her.
Okay.
Because I feel like even if this source is true, and I will look at if the source is true, I will say when the first conversation happened, and it was like, I'm not sure if I want to be married. I want to live my life and enjoy my 20s. I feel like even though there was chemistry there, it should have been a decision made by Mike because Mike's intention was marriage.
Right.
Maybe this is not it right now. Let's revisit this if I'm still single at a different time. Because I feel like if a woman says to you, I'm not ready to be married, I just want to enjoy my 20s, I want to live my life. And let's just take out the 20s. I just want to live my life
All right.
and enjoy myself right now. And you still be like, hey, I still want to pursue this. I feel like in some way, it was kind of like maybe if she falls in love with me, she'll change her mind.
Right.
That's not her fault.
No.
She said what she said. Like, she said what she said. So the fact that he
Absolutely.
took the chance, I don't think people, and let's just be honest, a lot of people are blaming LAURIE right now because it's Michael B. Jordan.
No.
If it was, because, he's gorgeous. Why wouldn't you
That's why
want him?
women is blaming.
That's why women are blaming.
I
But like-
blame is a strong word too.
I put it on her because who doesn't want to be married? Like
She clearly doesn't. There's a lot of
she
people.
don't want to, but like at the end of the day, like
There's still a lot of people out here who don't want to
don't
be
wanna be
married.
married at all.
no, that's a fact.
But
at
like,
the-
if a person tells you, I want to live my life and enjoy myself,
that's just an excuse to.
but
to
that's
be
not,
free.
that was her truth.
For
So
sure,
her truth
absolutely. She
is,
has that.
I don't, like, her truth was right now, I'm
So
not
you
sure
can't-
about marriage.
You can't put it on him to say we just gonna call it quits because you don't want to.
But he
We
set
like each
himself up.
No,
Because
they set
you
each
caught
other up.
feelings for somebody.
They both caught feelings.
But what I'm saying is you chose to pursue knowing there's a good chance she did not want to get married.
And she continued to pursue knowing he was gonna catch feelings.
But at the end of the
So
day,
we
she
can't
put her
just-
cards on the table. It's like, this is my truth.
And this is my truth.
Right.
So we're here. We
As-
both have our truths on the
As
table.
far as the truth being put on the table, like he knew that she was trying to live, whatever that means, and she knew that he was working toward Like his end goal was to eventually.
But okay, so we obviously we're not there for the conversation,
right?
So this is based on a source. So if it's like, hey,
this
is my truth, then it's like, well, let's see what happens,
right?
But there was a great chance that he would like, I don't know. I guess for me, and I said this behind the scenes. If I meet a guy and the guy says to me, I'm not sure if I want to get married, and I know for sure I want to get married, I'm not gonna pursue nothing. Because at the end of the day, if we a year in, like they were, and he's still like, I don't want to get married, I look stupid for investing this time into somebody who clearly stated they did not want to get married. And it is no fault but mine that I got hurt because I made it clear I didn't want to get married. And that's the same thing. And I use the example of Daniel and Quita. If Daniel says, I want to be married, and Quita had said, I don't want to be married.
Right.
And Daniel probably made a cognitive decision of, you know what, since we want two different things, let's not pursue this. And I think like it was a bad time investment because we got comments, y'all. We got comments.
But see, this might
I just feel like
I'll say
like just because the man wanted to get married.
Okay.
Granted, he could have said, you know what, you don't want to get married, and we both know that. Like we can end it here. But we all know what it's like to be in the beginning of a relationship. You want to continue. You want to see where it goes, no matter what the end result may be. You want to see where it goes. It lasted a year, unfortunately. Now they really feeling each other. Because like they said, they're hurt, right?
They're both hurt.
They're both hurting over this.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if y'all were still together, if the question of marriage didn't come up, y'all would still be kicking it and vibing and cooling, right?
Yeah.
Right. So until, let's say the question was out of the question for 5 years. Y'all 5 years in, no question of marriage, and now the question comes.
Like, yeah,
y'all gonna waste 5 years?
We go for 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Why not get married?
I honestly feel like at this point, 5 years. If you invested 5 years in
2-3 years,
but the thing is, you started off on a shaky ground.
Right.
You started off
because y'all both put the cards on the table.
It was shaky because Michael knew at the end of the day he wanted to be married, and they both made a decision. Okay, I'm gonna commit, but he knew. There was a very good chance.
I'm not gonna hurt. I see the good in this man. I'm not gonna hurt this man. I'm not gonna waste
I'm not
this
saying she's
time.
not. I'm not saying that.
So let's.
But I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, we can't blame one person.
No, we can't.
At the end of the day, it's both people. But I mean, like I said, for me, it was kind of just like if a dude tells me I want to get married and I don't want to get married, I'm just not gonna go forward with it. That's just me.
And that's fine.
That's just because I do feel like it's a waste of time.
I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we all know what it's like in the beginning stages of a relationship. We want to see where it goes. Like
I was saying, if she said that she wanted to have fun, he said at the end of the day, by the end of it all, I'm planning on being married. He ain't put no time schedule on it or whatever. You know what I mean? And y'all both was like, well, do you still want to get together? And you was like, well, yeah. So then we get together, you know what I'm saying? And then down the line, you come to the realization that, or because I don't know if he must have
came back.
He must have asked her, like, what do you think about, you thinking about getting married or whatever?
It was around there 1 year, and I think it was like supposed to be like a romantic proposal. And so it was like, I love you, marry me, and she was like,
I don't want to be married.
I don't want to be married.
You know what I'm saying? That it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They both came to that conclusion that they would give it time to see where it went, I guess. You know what I mean? But we're just gonna see how it goes. We're gonna continue this conversation.
I mean, and you never know. They may have a better first situation where they gotta go date other people first, and then end up being J-Lo and Ben Affleck again.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that.
Like growing or whatever. But up next we got hot topics coming in. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Yeah, like it's a hot topics. It's an endorsement to why I believe in whooping your kid. I'll explain why. It's Big Frank in the morning. Your girl Jay Cherie. We'll be back. Let's get it. Let's go.
But yeah, I can't put no blame on the man.
No,
I can't put no blame on him Like,
definitely can't put.
I really can't put no
blame
blame on her. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely get where you coming from with the, as a woman, if I'm thinking about getting married and I talk to some dude talk to me, he like, I'm not sure if I want to get married. You're not gonna waste your time. I understand that, but for a dude, it's different because
it's easy for a woman to walk away.
Not even because of that. Because I'm a Negro. Anyway, so like that's not what it is. The thing I say is hard. It's different for a guy because technically getting married is up to him. It's not up to you if I get married to you or not. That you know what I'm saying? To a degree, we live in 2022. People do things how they want to do them. But it's technically it's up to him, which means technically whenever he feels the want, the need to do such a thing, you know what I'm saying? So like for him, even if I like you, right, and we both like, okay, let's get in this relationship, and this relationship lasts, now we love each other, you know what I'm saying? There's still no timeline that I necessarily need to by this time be like, yo, you either gonna marry me or you gonna leave me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like in that sense, unless the thing like they broke up, and how I see it because I wasn't there, I see it as he brought up getting married.
He proposed,
and she was like, "Nah, I'm not. I can't do it." You know what I mean? Because I want to live my life, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Not saying that they wasn't living their life before it, but I don't want to be committed, and I don't want to be locked down in that way right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then he like, and they break up. You know what I mean? It's a honest mutual thing. Yeah, they're both gonna be hurting, but like it's like, well, this is what I wanted, you ain't want it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, if I go and find what I want, or if you go and find, or while you live your life, I'm still on this journey to find what I want. So if I find what I want, and it'd be what it is, we can still be cool. Like I'm pretty sure ain't no animosity behind it. But like it's like, if I find what I want without you, you knew that was my goal, I'm still gonna go visit my goal, you know what I mean? So that's what I did. No.
I mean, but like, so going into part 2 of the question, why does society blame the woman a lot? So there's background for that.
All right, here.
Because like taking LAURIE out of this, because obviously we've talked about her for like 2 seconds. Yeah. When Halle Berry had multiple relationships.
Yeah, she was fine.
They said there's something wrong with her. When Jennifer Lopez has certain relationships, even though A-Rod, and to her defense, A-Rod and the other Spanish guy who sang music, they was, well, we gonna change her, we gonna lock her down, and she's just like, we'll see. Like even old school, like Elizabeth Taylor, she was married multiple times. Mm-hmm. They always blame the woman, and it was like something is wrong with her. Mm-hmm. In an interview, Halle Berry said, she was like, I can't, and she was saying, I don't like the fact that people think that something is wrong with me. Maybe I've had conversations with them and told them, like, right now, I don't want to do commitment. I just want to have companionship, and I don't want to be kept. Right. And they still want to be with me anyway. Right. So it was like, why does it seem like if a woman is dating people, multiple people, or it doesn't work out, it's always her fault? It's always something wrong with her. It's not always common denominator. If especially, and I'm using Halle Berry specifically because she's very vocal about her relationship. She's like, I told him I didn't want to be kept. I was just looking for companionship. I was just looking for somebody to have fun with. I told him this up front. Like, I'm not ready to be locked down. Boom, there it is. And it's like, do you agree to companionship and relationship? Yeah, okay, let's go forward. But it's like, oh, something wrong with her. She must be crazy. I saw a thread where dudes was like, her lady movements in sex must be trash. Oh, she probably give terrible, special attention. She must suck in bed. You know what I mean? She must be a psychopath. And it was like a thread that was going on for months after her last relationship. Gotcha. So it was like, and even with Elizabeth Taylor, she got all this money. Something must be wrong with her. She must be crazy. I think she is.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then Jennifer Lopez, like, she's back with Ben Affleck, and she was just like, and they both said it. We had to separate and figure out what we want to come back together. But the whole time, there was Infinity Stones memes about Jennifer Lopez. Like, she got more stones than Infinity Stones. Like, but they were all dogging her. So, like, that's why I posed the question, why does society always blame the woman?
To my defense, I only dog J-Lo because she was with P. Diddy. And I
the question is, who wasn't with P. Diddy?
That's the problem. You can't work for P. Diddy and get in a relationship with P. Diddy.
P. Diddy has smashed many people he was working with.
I'm just saying.
Let's just
he owned the rights to your music. You need to leave him alone. Anyway, unless you're trying to get your master.
But nobody came for, even in that case, nobody came for Diddy. They came for J-Lo.
I'm continuously dogging out P. Diddy because he can't crack.
You are one of the few breed of people. But like, that's why I posed the question. Why is it always the woman? Because with the guys, it's them when they cheat, when they get caught cheating.
I'll say this, and I think that this is the most honest answer that you may ever get from any man. The reason why they blame the woman is because, like I said before, it's really up to the man when we get married or when we don't. But also, it's a stipulation on women that every woman wants to get married. And because of the stipulation that every woman wants to get married, you know what I'm saying, the fact that a man come do his due diligence with you and then ask you to get married and you say no because you want to live your life or whatever, or I told you before, I really just wanted companionship, you know what I'm saying, which isn't her fault because she's being vocal, she's being honest, and that was being true, you know what I'm saying, but it's the stipulation that everyone want to get married that men didn't create. Right. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, we definitely deigned to it, you know what I mean, but we didn't create the stipulation that every woman needs to get married, woman wants to get married. Mm-hmm. Women put on women the need, the want to get married.
But no, there's some dudes who want marriage more than women do.
Oh, I'm one of those dudes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But, you know, I'm talking about beforehand because this is an issue that was way before this stuff started happening. You know what I mean? That, like, you know, because back when women didn't have no rights, they couldn't do nothing without a man. You know what I mean? It became a norm that women get married. Right. You know what I mean? Now women don't need men necessarily. Quotations because because I feel like we need each other. You know what I'm saying?
Sharita said, either way, we cannot change a person's mind. If a woman or man tells you they don't want to be married, listen to that and respect it. Trying to change someone's mind can be borderline manipulative. That's true.
I totally agree. You know what I mean? But just answer the question. You know, I think it's all go back to that stipulation that people believe and is continuously taught that every woman wants to get married, every woman wants to be married, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, they blame the woman when she doesn't get married or when she is in multiple relationships, you know what I mean? You know, that's why, you know, that's where you get, you know, people start calling girls hoes and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Because you around while you over here searching for yourself, you know, in these relationships, you know what I'm saying? You know, nobody is trying to give you that time because everybody feel like, yo, either you're going to be in a relationship and if it's good for you and it's good to you, you marry him, or you're gonna be in a relationship and it's bad and y'all separate. You know what I'm saying?
Sharita says patriarchy causes society to believe in gender roles such as women wanting and needing to be married to be complete.
And that's a fact. I totally agree, and that's why I say this is the reason why they blame women, because it's ingrained in in cultures, right? Not just one, in most of them. You know what I mean? That it's the man. It's up to the man. If y'all are good and y'all doing
most
good.
American culture.
Yeah, because Arab, you know,
a lot
Arabic people, like
a lot of them are arranged marriages outside of American culture.
I mean? Yeah. But still, the reason why they arrange is because it's still for the same reason that they feel you need to be with a man so he can take care of you or whatever that it is. You know what I mean? So like the world in general has this mindset. It's not true, especially not now. You know what I mean? And it really shouldn't hold any weight. But it's so ingrained in the cultures, in the belief that societies have. You know what I mean? That now we at this place where we're asking questions. You know, why is it like this? It shouldn't be like this. You know what I mean? But the reason why it's like this is because it's always been like this, right? Which doesn't make it right.
See, but I just feel like there's certain things women shouldn't have to do. that require. I won't necessarily say require them to need a man, but there's certain things that a woman shouldn't have to do. She shouldn't have to use a hammer. She shouldn't have to take out trash. She shouldn't have to fix a car.
She don't want to.
You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't have to do these certain things. And for that, you have a man. And I'm not saying that's just society. And they put that crutch on you to make you feel like you can be without. But granted, we have women proving that you can be without men and thrive
and be great.
You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like it makes things better.
Right.
I mean,
not being with the man per se, but like man being with a woman and woman being with a man, it goes hand in hand.
Oh,
you know,
so the trajectory changed. Like the trajectory changed because back when you're talking about when women are supposed to, you know, the hammer and the nails and the garment.
I'm not saying not supposed.
No, I'm saying
I just
back
feel like
then.
they shouldn't.
Back then,
I'd rather.
That was a gender role. No, that was a gender role established.
No,
right.
for
back
sure.
then. But when you grow up in now with the generations, and let's go back to that. I'll say let's start with the 80s when there was a lot of single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
When it came into single mothers, the narrative of blaming women could have changed with the narrative of raising children by themselves.
That's a fact. Because now she has to be.
Because
that.
now she has to be that.
For sure.
But society decided to skip over that little factor, and it was just like, now if you're a single mother, you're strong, and now you build
crazy. Yeah. That's
you know, you build. Now you don't know how to be married because you like
by yourself for so long.
Because you've been by yourself for so long. It's not to the fault of the person. Like I grew up in a house with two guys. I had to learn how to wash my own clothes, do my own hair, you know, and that was like tricky, you know, all the women things. And then, you know, at a very young age, my father favored my brother over me. So I had to get money on my own. I had to buy my own stuff. So growing into self-sufficiency, I had to learn how to become so not independent to prepare myself for marriage. But a lot of women out there is like, I've been doing this so long.
Right.
You can't be mad at the weird adjustment period.
Right.
Because it's like we've had to do this by ourselves. I'm gonna read it in a second. We had to do this so long by ourselves. And I think like even with women, first of all, with women, you have to learn to go into that adjustment period. But also from the man point of view, you need to understand that there is an adjustment period for it, and that it's like, dang, woman, I want to take care of you. Okay, well, 30 years I've been doing this. Like, give me a chance to adjust and learn what it's like to be taken care of. Sharita said, I've experienced a situation. I told the guy I will not be rushed or pushed into marriage. That's how you end up on Snap or Fatal Attraction. Now, I will say this, the right man's genuine love for women can change their mind. When a woman is loved right, the walls of security blanket will fade away.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna say something that's not this gonna be controversial. Sure, don't be mad at me. Just don't be mad at me too much. But it is what it is. I'm gonna say it anyway.
I'll be mad until 10 o'clock.
We on the show to be controversial.
Yeah. I'll be mad.
I have a blame for some women, not all, because sometimes it'd be the same women saying that they don't want to be married or whatever, but be in a relationship and it's always telling you about things they daddy did. Or every time they get in trouble, they say they don't need a man, but it's not that they don't need a man, it's that they call him their daddy. I just call my daddy. I'm gonna call my daddy. This is my daddy, you know that. And I'm in a relationship with you, and I'm trying to do stuff for you, but you're not allowing me to do stuff for you. And you call yourself independent. You're not independent. You're leaning on your father.
But I agree. But I also feel like in some ways there's a standard that some men put on women based on their mind. So like it's like, you know, if a woman can't cook, well, I would just go to my mom's house.
But
you know,
absolutely.
So it's the same.
No,
what I'm saying is, I'm just using that as a scenario. But I feel like it's the same.
I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is, right? And we talk about this all the time. You know how women need to be needed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure women need to be needed too, for sure. You know what I mean? But if I am in a relationship with you and I want to do these things for you, but you are continuously subcontracting your issues to your father, you're not allowing me to be the man I'm trying to be in your life. And if you don't give me a chance to be that man, and then you toss me away and with words of independence, I don't need you. You know what I mean? It's different than if my mentality of a woman is a woman can cook because my mother cooked, and you can't cook. You know what I mean? And I say, and it'd be rude, but I say, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go to mommy house to get something to eat then. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to come and get something to eat at mommy house? You tell me no, because you upset with me because you don't know how to cook. You know what I mean?
We gotta eat.
You know?
But no, like, no, I just use it as a scenario.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
even
I'm
with
just saying,
our, like,
like,
apostle,
and these things
his
is
wife,
different. You know?
Lady B was like, I can't.
Yeah.
So they agreed to just go out to eat. They agreed to go out to eat.
And that's what I'm saying, but it's a lot. That's the difference, because it's for men. For men, it's a need.
Never had breaks this quick before.
Well, you know, so
It's a
life is-
lineup.
But like but for men, it's a need. You know what I mean? We can always come together and we can learn to cook together. And that's the case. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a relationship,
break.
you know what I'm saying?
We said we're gonna do this break, then we're gonna come back and do our final cut.
Okay.
Fire 716, it's your girl Jay Cherie. And in the room with me, I got the Dark Knight,
Yep.
Kev on air. And you know, the conversation so far has been really interesting and educational. We got comments. We got, reasons why people end up on Smash. There are some, and the conversation has been really good. We get ready to get into these hot topics real quick.
Oh, shit.
Dave Chappelle donates some of his proceeds from the show to the healing of Buffalo.
Shout out to David.
Dave Chappelle is donating some of the proceeds from his Buffalo show to the healing of Buffalo.
Let's go, Dave. My man Dave came secretly to Buffalo, sold out in 15 minutes. And then was like, I'm gonna give money to them.
He said he really wants to give it to like the families that have been affected and stuff like that.
And that's what you're supposed
This is what the love is.
He was now. Don't get me wrong. It's not all the proceeds.
Oh no, of course not. It should be.
He thought about it. He thought about us.
And that's a beautiful thing, because it's niggas that came here and sang a song and they leave nothing. I ain't gonna say no names. Anyway,
they did a concert at a church that we know about. Just saying. If you know. No, unfortunately, there was a church shooting in Nigeria that left multiple people dead. The shooters were inside and outside of the church, so the people tried to run out. They were shooting them. So we need to definitely keep the church in Nigeria in prayer. This is the second church shooting that has happened within the last 2 weeks.
In Nigeria?
No,
in
the United States.
Wow.
One here. Nigeria had the most casualties.
People die, man. Be ever in prayer, y'all.
And be ye ready.
I'm gonna say this. Be ye ready.
Y'all see me in church and I got the backpack. Just know we see.
Be ye ready. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jesus is surely to come.
That's coming. And Jesus said some of y'all up earlier than you thought you was gonna be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if nothing else, this is a teachable moment. If you ain't got your life together with Jesus, you need to go ahead and get your.
You ain't gotta wait till Sunday. If you want to get it in today, call the number. We'll get you right. Nancy Pelosi's husband was arrested for a DUI.
Am I really mad about that? That has nothing to do with her.
I'm really not mad, but more people were like, why don't you check your husband? Like, you're Nancy Pelosi. You probably need to get that under control.
She's never home.
In my mind, I'm pretty much like sure that dinner table conversation was like, really, dude?
Right.
Really?
See what I'm doing now.
So I'm out here doing advocacy for Black people. I'm wearing kente cloths and kneeling. And you out here doing driving drunk. Like, what did I really do to you?
Listen.
Like, is it the pressure of being connected to somebody that's trying to, advocate for Black people? Isn't that hard?
What make it bad is probably like he was just probably out with the homies and they got a little tipsy and they was like, you know what, I gotta get home. You know what I'm saying? My wife flying in the morning, I gotta get up and go get her. And he's drove home, the police just pulled him over. It just so happened that this is how it was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It probably wasn't even that crazy. But the fact that, you connect to somebody that, other white people are voting for.
Yeah.
You definitely put her in a position. You need to apologize. I don't know what you want to buy. She needs to apologize. I don't know what her favorite chocolate is, or the place she want to go to that you keep telling her no, that she can't go to because you don't have time for it. You're going to have to get yourself together and take that hour ride to Costco and be in there for 2 hours and just talk around her. I don't know what you're going to do. What you need to do.
Go to Williams Sonoma. Buy the unnecessarily expensive glass bowl.
There you go.
No, for real.
Go to peace.
12-year-old commits armed robbery. This is why we need to book kids.
Wait, no.
Yes.
Talk about it.
The 12-year-old, so the police had a gun.
Okay.
Committing armed robbery. I feel like the police officer that picked this kid up should have just took off their belt.
No, for real. I would have taken shit.
And whooped the fool out this kid.
Wait, where was he at when he robbed him?
He was robbing a store, like a convenience
Like a
store.
convenience
He got caught in the store?
Yes.
Not like a corner store, but like a Dashes.
Like
7-Eleven.
like a convenience store.
Okay,
It wasn't like in New York. It wasn't in New York State, but it was like a small store.
That's what I'm saying. Like how Dashes used to be.
Yeah.
Not how Dashes is now.
But
Yeah.
Legit went in, gun, give me all your money.
I didn't pay my sister.
Probably pushed the button.
I don't know how serious this situation is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What if you legit
he really trying
gotta
to
be
raise
the
kids?
provider for the
So,
kids?
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
But regardless,
As a former stealer, okay, don't rob it. Just go in there with a backpack, steal what you need to walk out.
Well, that's that.
he needed money.
Because you can't go to jail for that. So
All the cameras are not legit. The camera. I'm kidding, y'all. Don't be out here stealing. But no, the police picked him up, handcuffed him, put him in the back of the car. He has real life charges against him at 12.
that's messed up. He a black kid.
No, he's a white kid.
But regardless of what his color is, I think it's egregious to put handcuffs on this 12-year-old. And I may be in the minority of that, but I have been in a police car. They didn't even get driven to jail, and I still have to deal with that now. And this is of a black man that was already afraid of the police already. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's a little much. Now, do you take all his stuff and you put him in the police car and you make him sit there? If you drive him home, take him to his mother and be like, you know what your son just did? Yes, you know what I'm saying?
No, Connor needed a real life experience.
You know what I'm saying?
Connor needed
I'm gonna call him Connor. Connor needed a real life experience. He needed to be handcuffed.
All the black women in the 100-yard radius should have came out and gave a whooping.
Right.
But he definitely deserved neighborhood whooping. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
because I think the clerk of the store is actually going to press charges. He going to jail.
Don't get me wrong.
Because if he had came in there, and I'm not minimizing this, but if it had a little knife or something like that, okay, the dude had a gun.
You had to burn her.
Right, you're a threat at 12 with a gun. First of all, you ain't got no kind of control.
Don't get me wrong.
I know you don't.
No,
this Negro is wrong. If I was in the store, I would have kept shopping because I'm like, where's his mother at? This is my first thought. Where is this Negro mother at?
Well, you have to also understand that these 12-year-olds don't look like 12-year-olds. How our 12-year-olds look like. When we look 12,
that may be a fact, but
he probably looks 16.
I'm still, regardless, the fact that I don't care how old you is, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a teenager, I'm still wondering where your mama is.
Right.
Where's your mother at?
So, little Connor, he had a real jail experience.
And
he got booked, all the other kind of good stuff. And he's facing possible charges. Good right now. Good job, Connor.
See, y'all so busy sending these black kids to scare straight shit. Sending y'all white.
Wow. The thoughts and opinions of The Dark Knight do not reflect the opinions of Fire 716. We're not getting sued for that. No, but when we get back, we're going to get into some local news in the final thoughts. Lord. The final thoughts. This is your girl, J Street. Dark Knight. Kev here. This is Big Frank in the morning. Let's pay some bills.
That's all I'm saying. Dude,
don't get us yo, nothing else. Daniel is gonna be the cancel factor for Fire 716. He done cussed on this joint.
Asked me to be on the show to have my opinion, and I give it to
He done cussed on this joint. He has made real Black Panther anarchy comments.
I want you to know, Shirley said that she agrees with me. So
She said, "Let the man be the man." I got in that. He gonna talk about overthrowing the wagon. Like we not even like syndicated yet. Like we still online. Give us a chance. Give us a chance to grow, sir. Just give us a chance to grow. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
Before you get us canceled.
And by the time God bless us and we is huge, I'm gonna have my own following to rant. I'm so ready to ride out. Hopefully not ride and die, because as we said a couple of days ago, I do not believe in riding and dying. So
no, for real.
And shout out to the 2 other people that subscribed. We up to 38 subscribers.
Oh, let's get that 40.
Let's hit that 40 and then that 400.
Come on.
Let's put a 0 up on that.
Right.
Let's get it.
Like, share, subscribe.
Support us.
Support.
I was like, we play commercials.
Did you play the commercials? Oh.
We going on a quick commercial break.
Crenshaws Chicken and Waffles, currently located at 701 Kensington Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. Come and get a taste of the Greedy Greg chicken sandwich with a famous and amazing slap sauce. And don't forget those specialty waffles, red velvet, cookies and cream, Cinnabon, only at Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles. Place your orders now at Crenshaw'sChickenandWaffles.com. That's Crenshaw'sChickenandWaffles.com. Pull up to 701 Kensington Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. That's Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles.
Come create at Hanley Studios, 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. Poetry, improv, comedy, music, and more. Hanley Studios, available for renting. We have lights, sound, and stage equipment. Hanley Studios, 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. We provide live streaming. For more information, call 716-371-2780, extension 2, 716-371-2780, extension 2.
Fire 716 Radio, serving the best in urban and inspirational.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go!
It's Big Frank in the morning, Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air, Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey. Yeah.
What up, people?
It's getting hated on by Walmart because the commercials they gave. It's like, thank you for sharing my stuff. And Walmart was upset. Nah, they are like, why didn't you press them? It's like, I ain't press you, so. Okay. You know, I said this. This came up in my memories. I was like, the issue that we have with kids and things like that is it all came up after, like, I was like, the reason why your kids are bad, other than, you know, how you is in general, is because you also started getting, I was like, it's because you started getting upset when other people corrected your children. I was like, if you're not gonna correct them, you can't. And then you got upset with the village correcting your kids. Now you raise your kid really by yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once we took the village out of the Black community, I feel like that's an issue. I think we need to get back to that village mentality. You know what I mean? You know, everybody fought. You know, crack came, and, you know, single motherhood came, and, you know, all those crazy things. You know,
No, for real.
you know, housing assistance, and, you know, all those things led to, you know, which, you know, I ain't gonna say it's good or bad. Well, I'm gonna say it's bad in the long run. You know, it led to that. You know, I don't need a man. I can get through this without a man. This, that, and third. But you over here living in Langfield. You know what I'm saying? You can do better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you comfortable because you're doing it without a man. But you also left that village. You know what I mean? That village mentality that we used to have, we don't have it no more because we don't have that village mentality. We're going to continuously bring out, instead of bringing out revolutionary thinking children, we bring out criminal-minded ones.
Right.
I think it started when we stopped whooping kids in church. For real though.
Oh,
I
I still see kids get whooped in church.
So I mean, like when you was in church, you got whooped by
pinched.
You got whooped by every person that saw you acting.
What?
Oh, man.
Yo, I remember.
Pinches still don't work, bro. I think I still got it on my arm, bro. I think I still got it.
With refuge members like that. but it was a lady named Miss Pat, Sister Pat,
Mhm.
and she was in charge of like the children. She did the Sunbeam Choir, and whenever you was cutting up, she'd come pinch you. Man, listen, stop that!
Your mom ain't say nothing.
Nothing.
She was like, what was you
What?
What was you doing?
What did you do?
Well, what was that? Well, why did you invite me?
Right.
No, because like I remember, like my grandmother took me to church, but she was in a choir stand,
Oh,
and so like, because I didn't like sitting with my dad,
That's
because
the-
my dad,
cut up.
I ain't gonna lie.
I was sitting with her best friend Pee Wee.
That's the worst.
Pee Wee saw me acting up, tore me up. My grandmother got off the choir stand. We went back to my grandmother's house, and she tore me up. One of her mother friends came over to visit for food, and I was getting ready to eat my food, and she tore me up. And she was like, "Don't you ever embarrass your grandmother, not your father, who was sitting on the other side of the church. Didn't care less about him. Don't you ever embarrass your grandmother in church?" And I remember, I was like, I got beat 3 times in church, and then went home to my dad's house like with a plate. And got on punishment. And he took my plate. Like,
Wow.
I was like, first of all, this is not yours. Like, ate my food and was like, you on punishment for the week, for the like next weekend. What made me go to school, made me do everything next week when you on punishment because I heard you got 3 whoopings. First of all, how did you hear that? You were present with 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like, you was in the same building when I got both whoopings.
You wasn't gonna get punished. You wasn't gonna get punishment for them 2, but then I heard you got a 3rd one. I have to display you.
So I gotta display you.
I'm the only one that let it go. You know what I'm saying?
But the crazy thing is, even like the punishment wasn't a punishment because he worked on weekends and he worked nights. So it
He was in no control of what I did.
was like he literally tried to have my quote unquote godmother. She's not really my godmother. She's a person who just basically like, I'm her godmother now, and I'm like, no. Like he basically had her come to the house and she would leave at like 8:00 at night. She would put me in bed and leave. 8:01, I was out to bed, watching TV, eating snacks.
Yo.
And then I knew my father was going to be home around midnight, so I would cut the TV off at 11 so the TV be cold. Go in my room and be listening to all my tapes and stuff like that until I fell asleep. Like, she was like, you can't do stuff, but she would have to run errands. So I was leaving my house
All the time.
doing stuff, but she was like, you're going to be in bed by 8:00, that's your punishment. Okay, lady.
Okay.
All right, sure.
Whatever.
She left. There was only one time where she caught me. It was like she came back and she forgot something, and she was just like, "You're supposed to be in bed," and like she was trying to look for a belt to whoop me, but couldn't find no belt, and then was like trying to spank me with her hand, and I just looked her dead in her face and started laughing at her face, like, "Ah, it don't hurt, it don't hurt, it don't hurt," like. No, it wasn't that. Like, even if she tried to whoop me, she was a punk. I would have grabbed the belt.
I have never told my mom it did hurt. Even when it kind of stopped hurting as much, I would have.
Well, your mother would never agree.
I would never say that.
What?
Never in my life. You know what? I don't even know what happens after that. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Well, you have to know the person you're saying it don't hurt to. With her,
Right.
I could have grabbed the belt and
It's not
easily
with her.
start with her. Because I was that kid, like, you really ain't gonna run me. Not for real. Now, like, my dad had that old school thick black leather belt, like the joint that was like this thick around.
The one that they bought for church for real.
Like the one that held up pants and glory. Like that's it. When I say that thing was solid, like it was thick. So like when I knew I was getting a whooping, I had on at least 8 pair of drawers because I knew. Like that first initial belt with that belt, I made the mistake one time grabbing the belt, and the next day I had to go to school in a turtleneck because like I had whelps all on my arms and my legs, and it was summertime.
Oh,
and I was like, I had gym that day, and the gym teacher saw the whelps and called me into the office, and they called my dad. It was like, why are there whelps on your daughter? Like, and my dad was like, she was disciplined, and it was like, sir, if you do this again, we're gonna report you for child abuse. I was more upset that they caught the whelps and had to call my dad because I was like, I'm gonna catch another one when I get home. And it wasn't my fault. It's Jim, you supposed to be short and a t-shirt. But I was like, I probably should have lied and like I'm sick and sit out so they didn't catch him. Because I was scared that when I got home, I was gonna catch another one.
Mama would have walked up to the school. What? walked into school, gave me a whooping again in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Call them.
Please.
And I'm gonna tell them when they get here. She ain't do nothing, bro. I'm just
Right.
Something happened around it.
We were just having a conversation.
It's different with a woman. It's, like if your mom had did that, it would have been different with a woman because it was my father.
If my dad,
it was my father whooping me like that because it was like we understand because it was like Mr. Mitchell, we understand discipline, but when it's leaving marks on your children, you're a man and you hit harder. And it was like, this is abuse. Yeah. And I was just saying to myself, why did I pretend to be sick? Like, I'm going to go home and get another one. And then I'm going to be in a turtleneck and a sweater and some knee-high socks and some corduroy pants in the summertime. Like,
I was stuck here off. I had my fear, Cynthia. I'm really scared of Frank. Like, I done got a whooping. You know them belts that barbers have that that they sharpen.
That's not a belt.
I'm just saying, don't. I done got one of those. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather get punched. I'd rather have got punched on my father and had an asthma attack than got a whooping from that. Even though we went to school and they would have pressed me about it, and he would have got mad because they woke him up.
Yo!
Why did you just wake me up from sleep to tell me about this?
Why did you wake me up?
You could have wrote this note and gave it to his mother. Like, I don't know this. I don't care. Just like,
worst whooping ever I got. You would have thought it was the one in the tub.
I love y'all though, cause y'all kept me out of jail. Y'all kept me out of drugs. Kept me busy. So every whooping, I appreciate it.
My worst whooping wasn't even the one out the tub.
Even the ones that I know.
My joint was I was whooped with a cable cord, like the thick cable cord, like the thick black joint. Tore me up, and that's when I decided to plot on my brother's life because it was his fault. Like that's the cousin story. So like I was like, oh God, I'm gonna end your life for real because like I literally he caught me in the basement because he heard me cuss. He was like, what did you say? And I was like, Leon told me to say it. He was like, no, I didn't. She said it on her own because she saw it on TV and repeated it. This dude clean lied. My father came downstairs, got a cable cord and tore my tail up. Like, I purposely stayed home from school that day because I knew there was no hiding this. Like, we had gym and outside. Like, there was no way my dad was not going to get caught. I would just stay home. Like, and I got whooped with, like, the big spoon and fork. They used to hang on the wall. I got smacked with that real hard. Ah! Like,
I felt most black kids born in the 90s got that.
Straight got the spoon off the wall. Pop!
And people are having these conversations, and they be like, black people always are talking about these traumatic things. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I guess, some stuff can be traumatic for kids, but like, the same people that say that we're going through these traumatic things is people that ain't never got a whooping and they was doing all types of crazy and wild stuff, and it took something crazy happening in your life to get you straight. Right. It ain't take nothing crazy in my life to get me straight. I was straight as a kid.
It didn't matter because I still did reckless stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew my limit.
But my thing is, my reckless things.
I knew what I could get away with.
The reckless things that I may or may not have done because I have not got caught for them, so I would not say that I did them. You know what I'm saying? The reckless things that I may or may not have done were not on a level that they could have been because I knew I had consequences to deal with after if I may or may not got caught for the thing that I may or may not have done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it kept my criminal aspect very low, and I want you to know that my criminal aspect, as my last name is Gibbs, is extremely high. Okay, so like I'm just like don't get me wrong, some stuff definitely can be categorized as abuse. Some stuff could be abuse, but a lot of stuff is really just it happened to keep you low because y'all Negro kids now say whatever they want to their parents, do whatever they want. No, now be looking at y'all in the grocery store like if Cynthia Gibbs was here, she'd be pulling both of y'all to the side and having a conversation with both of y'all. And then she probably would one of y'all. It'd probably be your mama. But it was, you know what I'm saying? Because I just know, you know what I mean? I know what it is because I'm like, certain things just shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And I was like, white people can call you getting a whooping abuse all you want. You know what I'm saying? But me getting a whooping kept me
Stop me from shooting.
Stop me from doing a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stop me from beating your son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stop me from getting, because a lot of people got saved from getting beat up in school because I knew Frank Gibbs, if Frank Gibbs had to wake up and come in from school,
it was gonna be a problem.
I remember BLK did a segment on the most embarrassing whoopings that they ever had, like they ever did. And this girl said that her most embarrassing whooping, she went into a grocery store, her mother said, don't ask for nothing. And she asked for a box of Cheerios. And her mother beat her with the box of Cheerios. like Cheerios flying everywhere.
No, the only thing about that is I don't know if I would laugh at that after or during, because the ridiculousness of getting beat with Cheerios, you know, and then thinking about like, yo, she got to pay for these after, like no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Like
she was just like, because she knew like at the age, she knew like all the kids could choose one box of cereal. So I guess she was just like, Mommy, can this be my box of cereal? And her mother was like, I told you don't come here asking me for nothing. Grabbed the box and started wilding her with the Cheerios.
Only the first two really worked, because after that, the box was open. The Cheerios was
she was an expert. Just pow, 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 like beat her through the box, through the bag. Like Cheerios was all clean up aisle for her. Like Cheerios.
Grabbed the cart and just walked off. You don't know if you should cry or not. You're just like, did I just get it?
Like, and the girl said she cried because she was like embarrassed, and then this white lady was like, "You should be beating your child with box of Cheerios," and she was like, "Do you want me to ram your ankles with this cart?" Like, there was just no games, team, no games. Like, I will break your ankles with this cart. Mind your business. Let me beat my child with these Cheerios. At least it's not a bell. Like, and I was like, in my mind, the mother was a killer. Like, because Cheerio boxes, like phone books, don't leave marks. Like, she had in her mind, like, they can't catch me because it doesn't leave marks.
And on the camera, they just go put out all the America's Funniest Videos.
Right.
I think it's ridiculous.
We're gonna win 10,000.
This is ridiculous.
Because, like, this is funny. But, like, I was like, yo, real talk, the mother is a killer. Because, like, you had to know, like, deep down in your soul,
got to be.
Cheerio boxes don't leave marks, dude. Like, I was like,
you had to murder.
She probably grew up and was a cop. Like, because we all know hitting somebody with a phone book doesn't leave marks.
You had to murder somebody.
Right.
I don't know who it was.
But I was laughing at, like one girl said that, like, she didn't get whooped, but, like, they was acting up at a bowling alley. And the mother was like, took the ball and rolled it like her kid fell over the ball. Like, she was like, stop acting up. Boom. Hit her back of the ankles and she fell backwards and rolled. Probably like, all these stories, I know they black people. That's what black people stuff. Oh, you want to act a fool? Boom, 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 boom. Bam! Sit down.
Yo,
like,
oh, man, that ankle had
it's weird because, you know, all the, like, I guess my worst whooping, all my worst whoopings, no one was around. Or all my brothers.
That's why they were worse.
Or all my brothers we all was getting it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think I went with like a wet like rope that like you tie to a boat. You know what I'm saying? But nobody else was there. And to the defense of the said person that did it, I was in the wrong. Because you did tell me to not touch your boat. and you caught me on top of your boat. Regardless of the reason I lost the ball up there, regardless of the reason I could have walked in the house. Told you, hey, granddad, my ball is in the boat. Could you get it? And you probably would have like, hey, bro, don't go get the boat. That's okay, that's all I just did conversation. But you know, you caught me red-handed on top of your boat. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. And now that I'm older and understand how much boats cost and random stuff that go into boats and where I was in Kentucky, at any time I could have pulled off with that boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, yeah, I understand the ramifications of this whole thing. You know, and it's not even like I got whipped out bunch. Like I really got hit like 2 times.
I remember I knew there was a chance that I was gonna get a whooping. Like, I didn't know if it was gonna be me or my brother, because like something broke in the house. Yeah. And my brother called my dad at work and blamed me. But based on how it got broken, it should have been my brother. But once again, my dad played favorites, so it was me. But I knew I was gonna get a whooping. but in my bedroom, I had like access to my attic.
Mm-hmm.
So like, my dad didn't realize how much like his daughter was smart. So I packed food. Like I had food, snacks, box of pizza, other stuff up in this attic. A bucket if I had to go to the bathroom. Like, I was like, I am not coming down and taking this fall for this whooping. And like as soon as I heard my dad's car pull in the driveway, I hopped in the closet, jumped on the thing, and hid in the attic. And my dad was like, "Where's Jessica?" And my brother snitched. He was like, "She in the attic." He said, "You gotta come down sometime." It was like a day. Like I slept in the attic. I was like, "I'm not coming down."
Yo.
I got a whooping because I prepared for the whooping. Like my father was like, "I figured out it was you. It wasn't you. But because you didn't come down, you get a whooping for that." Fire 716, it's your girl Jay Shuri, the Dark Knight, Camo Air. We out. If you haven't caught the behind the scenes footage, we out here talking about whoopings.
Man.
Whoopings that we deserved, whoopings we didn't deserve.
I deserved every last whooping I got.
And how I got a whooping for not coming down to a whooping.
Those are the worst ones. The whooping that you technically probably wouldn't have got, but you got because you ain't do something.
But for me, it was like because he didn't discover, like the clues didn't come together until post whooping like situation. So if I had to come down, I would have got a whooping. And he would have had to apologize, which he would have done. So either way, I got a whooping because it was like, yo, you were intuitive enough to actually pack stuff. So you didn't have to come down. The fact that you thought that through, you get whooped. But no, in local news, Niagara Falls launched an investigation after officers shot an armed suspect and an officer was stabbed during an incident on Friday. Mm-hmm. This happened at the Rite Aid on 80th Street. Mm-hmm. People, let's stop.
So they said they launched an investigation?
They're launching an investigation about what happened. It says officers approached 29-year-old behind the Rite Aid. The suspect tried to get away from officers and refused to comply with commands. Officers used a taser, no effect on the suspect, and that's when they charged him and he stabbed the cop. So now the full investigation is on the way now because, of course, like we talked about yesterday, it was two different stories.
Right.
So now they're trying to piece the stories together.
Gotcha.
In Amherst, New York, the Amherst Police Department have reported a 39-year-old man from Rochester has died following a crash early Saturday morning. Around 12:35 a.m., the man's 2009 Chevrolet reportedly left the road and crashed into a tree on Lawrence Bell Drive near Earhart Drive. The man suffered serious injuries and died on the scene. So that's our local news. Man. It's a lot going on. You know, this past weekend was Pride weekend.
Yeah. It's also Pentecost.
It was also Pentecost
Sunday.
You know, like I was surprised at how many parents drag their kids out to Pride weekend.
Because some parents don't understand that children still need to be children.
Why they have to be dragged? A drag you're gonna
like dress the kids up. It was like you go to the Pride parade.
You're gonna go to this Pride parade because we're not gonna be looking like ignorant people out here. So we're gonna come to this Pride parade.
And also, you guys, you know, we don't have traffic, but definitely be careful on the roads. You know, it's wet, it's raining. Y'all know when it first rains, the oil comes up, it makes it slippery. So please don't be out here driving reckless, Kevin. Don't be out here driving reckless. You know, there are, you know, as stated before from Big Frank, there is a prayer vigil coming up this Thursday. Mm-hmm. If you are able to make the prayer vigil, I believe he said it was 5:00. More information to come, right? Just to make sure we're not giving you false information. So if you're able to attend the prayer vigil, please come out. Let's continue to keep the communities unified. Even in Buffalo, I believe there's a prayer vigil coming up this Saturday. Prophetess Christika is doing it, and it's going to be Save Soul Saturdays. Okay. You know, so please come out and join in the prayer vigil and keeping the community of Buffalo and surrounding areas unified. We don't want to stop the momentum at this point. Right. So you can't complain if you ain't in it. And also there are some other mental health things coming up this week that I'll have information for you tomorrow. So if you're still needing mental health services for young adults, for teenagers and young adults, there are some free services that are coming up this week. We'll have more information for you. And we're getting ready to get into our final thoughts. I'm going to throw that Kev on air first.
Yikes. Bang. Slow down.
Slow down.
Reevaluate. And get back to it. Don't Don't stay out your lane. Don't get out your lane. Stay in your lane, but stay at your pace.
Okay.
All right.
Speak like this.
Speak like this. Dark Knight?
Random rude thing. I'm just like, communication is key,
Mm-hmm.
even if you feel like you're not being heard.
They're not listening.
Because even if you feel like you're not being heard, the fact that you stepped out and communicated what you did or whatever you said
God bless me.
is no matter what, you always have that. Well, I communicated it with you, regardless if you heard what I said. When I said it, I opened myself up to you. I let you know what it was. You didn't. If you didn't take it in or accept it, and you went your own way, as Jesus told the disciples, I brushed my sandals off and I keep pushing to the next place.
He said it just like that.
Yeah. Dust your shoulders off and keep moving.
Push.
In the spirit of Big Frank,
Yeah.
Baby Shark, do.
No.
Not
Baby
How did we get
Shark,
to-
do.
Are we that behind?
Mommy Shark, do. Daddy Shark, do.
No.
Honestly, know your place and know your beat. You have to understand that, even as you identify, as you grow, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're the baby shark, you're the mama shark, you're the daddy shark, you're the grandma shark, you need to understand to walk to the beat of your own do. Because if you're trying to walk in the same beat as mommy shark, but you're a baby shark, it's not going to work. So you have to understand that you have to not only know your identity, but know to the beat of which drum you are walking to, which is the one that you make. This is Jay Sheree. This is the Dark Knight.
What?
This is Kev on air. And this is Big Frank in the morning. We will catch y'all tomorrow morning. We about to pay some bills and be out.
Yo.
Facebook.
Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles, currently located at 701 Kensington Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. Come and get a taste of the greedy Greg chicken sandwich with a famous and amazing slap sauce. And don't forget those specialty waffles, red velvet, cookies and cream, Cinnabon, only at Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles. Place your orders now at Crenshaw'sChickenandWaffles.com. That's Crenshaw'sChickenandWaffles.com. Pull up to 701 Kensington Avenue in the city of Buffalo, New York. That's Crenshaw's Chicken and Waffles.
Come create at Hanley Studios, 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. Poetry, improv, comedy, music, and more. Hanley Studios, available for renting. We have lights, sound, and stage equipment. Hanley Studios, 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. We provide live streaming. For more information, call 716-371-2780, extension 2, 716-371-2780, extension 2.
Fire 716 Radio, serving the best in urban and inspirational music.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go. It's Big Frank in the morning. Jay Sheree keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air. Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey.